Almost every footballer has a dream club, but not everybody gets to live their dream. Now for the ones that do, it could either end up being great, or it could end up so bad that they wish they'd never even had that dream. These are 7 footballers whose childhood dreams turned into nightmares. We'll start with the latest member of this group, Kylian Mbappe. To be honest, the jury's still out on this one. His numbers look good, but there is something seriously off with Mbappe at Real Madrid. His love for Madrid was never a secret. He had Real Madrid posters in his room as a kid, and he even trained at Real Madrid's facilities when he was a teenager. In 2024, he finally got his big move, but his lifelong dream is now turning into a nightmare right before his eyes. He's not the main man as he probably thought he would be. He's been caught offside the most times and has missed the most chances of any player in La Liga this season. He's missing big penalties which are costing his team points, and fans online are turning against him in droves. This was definitely not what he saw when he dreamt of playing for Real Madrid. Will this nightmare end anytime soon so his actual dream can begin? What do you think? Let's now cross over to the other side of Spain and look at Philippe Coutinho. As a young boy in Brazil, it was always his dream to play for Barcelona. He wanted the move so bad that even though he had a good thing going for him at Liverpool, he decided to leave anyway. Klopp tried to convince him to stay, but his dream club had just called him, so he forced a move out. Sadly, that dream very quickly turned into a nightmare. Coutinho's time at Barcelona was so bad that he's still regarded as one of the worst signings in the club's history. And what makes his case worse is that it was just downhill from there. It was like he just forgot how to play football after moving to Spain. He joined Aston Villa and still couldn't crack it there, so he went to Qatar and is now back in Brazil at the age of 32. For context, Salah is also 32 and he's on a Ballon d'Or run. Just imagine if Coutinho didn't follow his dream. Now let's look at Romelu Lukaku. He had a dream of playing for Chelsea all his life. He idolised Didier Drogba and wanted to follow in his footsteps by leading the blue line to glory. But his dream turned into a nightmare not once, but twice. In 2011 he joined Chelsea but wasn't able to break into the first team. He first went out on loan and then left permanently in 2014. 10 years later, after he had established himself as one of the best strikers in the world, he made a dream return to Stamford Bridge and was hoping to live his dream this time around, but this time it was even worse. Just months into his second spell at the club, he had already missed numerous chances and had fallen out with the coach. And 1 year after he returned, he was already on his way out of the club. Lukaku's dream really turned into a nightmare twice. But in Sofiane Amrabat's case, it was just a loan deal. The Moroccan midfielder had always had a dream of playing for Manchester United, and he reportedly turned down every club just to make the move happen. He sealed a loan move to Old Trafford in 2023, and surely he hoped that this was the beginning of something beautiful. The loan deal included an option to buy, so Amrabat was hoping he'd impress his dream club enough to earn a permanent move, but that was not the case. In fact, far from it. Amrabat's dream very quickly turned into a nightmare. Fans were not happy with his performances, and the option to buy wasn't even as much considered. He surely would have loved his dream to end up differently, but we're pretty sure a part of him is just happy he lived it. Another player who lived his dream through a loan deal is João Felix. The Portuguese always had the dream to play for Barcelona, and in the summer of 2023, despite still being on Atletico's books, he expressed his desire to join Barca in an interview with Fabrizio Romano. He didn't care about the backlash from the Atleti fans at all, he just wanted to live his dream. He received offers from many clubs that summer, including a very lucrative one from Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, but he insisted that he only wanted to join Barcelona, and he waited until the last moment for that call. Luckily for him, that call came. On deadline day, after moves for Neymar and Bernardo Silva failed, Barcelona finally decided to go for Felix and brought him to the Camp Nou on a one-year loan deal. Safe to say that it wasn't what he thought it would be. He was largely inconsistent and the fans quickly gave up on him. After his loan year, he was off. But at least he had fonder memories than anything Eden Hazard could remember at the Spanish capital. Despite things going amazingly well for him at Chelsea, when Los Blancos called, he immediately answered. But we all know this story too well. Between injuries, arriving for training out of shape, and just flat out playing badly, this dream very quickly turned out to be his downfall. We will now wrap up with Arda Güler. He looked up to Özil as a kid and always wanted to follow in his footsteps and play for Madrid. This is why, although Barcelona got to him first, when Real Madrid came into the conversation, he immediately picked them. But that dream is currently not going how Güler hoped it would. The kid spends more time on the bench than on the pitch, and this was surely not how he saw his dream move ending up. Of course, there's still more than enough time for him to still live his dream, but knowing Real Madrid, there's that fear that he could be loaned out soon, and that could be the beginning of the end for him, you know, like Odegaard for example. Anyway, are there any more players you know of whose childhood dreams turned into nightmares? Tell us in the comments. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.